So let's say somebody comes in with a phobia, or you can't stop eating, or you probably get a lot of
Right.
anxiety clients. Are you trying to get everything from their past and trying to find the root cause as to why they're going through something like this, and then try to turn that
So
into
yeah, you just
positive?
right. Yeah, I'm not looking for everything. It's the root. We'll be getting to the root of where it started and why. And from that information, now I know how the mind is programmed to do that particular negative behavior or positive behavior. Most people aren't coming in to change the positive behavior, they're coming in for the negative, right? But you can change both. It really depends on what you want to do. But most of it's negative. So yes, get to the root of what it is. And sometimes you don't even really have to, right? Generally, let's say to keep everything easy and easily digestible so for people listening to this. So a smoker, okay, most smokers, they probably started more than likely in high school where they were around 12, 13, 14 years old, and they stole some cigarettes from their parents, and they and their buddies went behind a shed or a bathroom, and they took their first drag on the cigarette. The first response was obviously negative because they coughed, they couldn't deal with it, but somehow they ended up picking up the addiction because there is sugars, there's all kinds of chemicals, there's all kinds of things. So they continued to smoke. And then 30, 40 years later, they're calling somebody like me saying, hey, I want to stop smoking. So generally, I already know the root. And when I say it, they go, how do you know that? Are you psychic? How are you reading my mind? Well, again, you have to understand behavior. And once you understand behavior, all of us humans are basically built the same. And so once you get that, then you can pretty much know where the areas are of when the negative behavior started, so you can start to change it and reprogram the mind.
What
Yeah,
what
that's pretty cool stuff.
Yeah. What typically is the reason for a smoker?
Exactly what I just said, that story I just gave you,
Oh,
where they start with their friends because they think it's cool, or they're not cool because they're doing it because of peer pressure. And then they end up doing it because, again, they become addicted to the sugars, the caffeine, the formaldehyde, all of the chemicals within the cigarette. And then they really feel that taking the drag of that cigarette relaxes them, puts them in a different frame of mind. There's all kinds of things that people come in with. But generally, I'm speaking generalizations of pretty much 90% of that condition of when they're saying, hey, I want to stop smoking. And then they realize, how do you know all of this stuff? Well, because again, I understand the behavior and why you actually started the behavior.
so in that case, you're trying to reprogram the brain in a sense?
Well, I'm not trying to do anything. I'm the guide, I'm the facilitator, right? So when people come to me, it's because they've tried everything. They've tried the pill, the patch, the needle, they've tried cold turkey, everything imaginable, but it's not working for them. Why isn't it working? Or did it work? And several years later, they started smoking again. The reason is because they didn't change the programming system in the computer, the hard drive, the 88%, because that 88% is what drives us every single day. And we don't even realize it. Just like right now, if I tell you, Mike and everyone else, to think of a pink elephant in a room, what did you just do?
Yeah.
Even though you say, I'm not going to do it, you just did it. See, that was a direct suggestion. And I'm basically speaking to the subconscious mind to say, that's what you're going to do. And the more you try not to do it, the more you are going to do it. So it's the same thing with a negative behavior that we do realize that is prohibiting our lives or affecting our health, that they realize I'm powerless behind this. And the easy metaphor I like to give is, again, I used to be able to, and you seem like a younger guy. In my generation, I had a 6-cylinder, 8-cylinder car where I can get under the hood and work on that car and fix that car by myself. I wouldn't have to take it to a mechanic. Okay. Nowadays, if I open the hood of my car, there's no way possible I can get under there and fix that. I got to take it to a specialist, and he's got to look at that. And immediately, if I'm at a good mechanic, as soon as I drive into the garage, he opens up that hood. He knows exactly what's going on with that particular car and that model. Why? Because he's a professional. And so it's the same thing with what I do or any doctor. They pretty much know what that behavior is or why it's doing what it's doing or what it's not supposed to be doing or what it should be doing. So it's same concept where, again, it's just basically breaking it down, finding, and then fixing. And it's not me fixing. Again, the hypnotist has no power. I don't sprinkle any dust on you. I don't do any magic or hocus pocus. Again, all these things you see in the movie and television. What I'm doing is speaking to your subconscious mind because you're giving me that permission. And once you give me the permission, I'm able to go in like the mechanic, just like when you drive your car and you just gave him the permission to go inside your car, open up the hood and fix whatever is possible because you just want to get out of there within an hour and drive your car again. Same thing. So they come in. I'm not really fixing them. I'm guiding them to where they need to go to reprogram that hard drive, that subconscious mind to now do what they're supposed to do. Now, some of it, like smoking, could be one session, you're done. So the story I like to tell with that is also because people ask. So let me tell you before you ask me. So I had a 40-year smoker, 2.5 packs a day, Camel non-filter cigarettes. Okay, one of the worst cigarettes you can possibly smoke. There's no filter on it, it's straight tobacco, and you're sucking on that 3-inch stick, and is nothing but bad. 2.5 packs a day, 40 years.
Hmm.
Okay. Now we didn't even do the formal hypnotherapy session. He didn't call me and do it that way. We actually ended up doing it in a lecture, comedy stage hypnosis situation where he reluctantly came up on the stage because his wife forced him up there because she had just seen me on one of the television shows. So she knew what was going to happen. He didn't. And he just felt, okay, I'm going to make my wife happy. I'll go up there and then I'll just go sit back down within a couple of minutes and I'll be fine. Well, he ended up staying through the entire program. And at the end of the show, I give very powerful suggestions. I've perfected a mini hypnotherapy session in my programs. And so it's not a full hypnotherapy program, but I tell them if you do come up and volunteer, you're going to change your life from this experience. Not only from the experience, because you have a lot of fun doing it, but I'm going to give you some very powerful suggestions at the end of this program as if you were in my personal office doing hypnotherapy. So that kind of gives you the incentive to come up because you start to realize, wow, I get to benefit from this in so many different ways. Why not? So he reluctantly did all of that, stayed throughout the entire program, was one of the funniest guys I've ever watched in one of these programs. Because when you get me laughing after I've been doing this a long time, it's a that's a feat all within itself. Because I've seen everything, right? So at the end of the show, I gave powerful suggestions. I did not know what he wanted to change. I don't know. I never know what people want to change. But at the end of the show, I gave them the opportunity. And so a lot of them email me after the fact, or they tell me right after the show what happens. But with this particular gentleman, he basically said, "Hey, listen, can I talk to everybody? Can I grab the microphone?" This is like 3,000 people, and I want to share my experience. And I looked over. Now, this was the CEO of this particular company, so of course I'm going to give him the microphone and go, "Yeah, go ahead, do what you got to do." And so he basically said, "Listen, I didn't want to come up here. I was forced up here. My wife forced me up here." That gets a big laugh. And I thought I was just going to sit back down within a couple of minutes, but I stayed throughout the entire thing because I felt amazing. I feel absolutely unbelievable, unlike I've ever felt in my entire life. And as all of you know, I'm a smoker, 2.5 packs a day, 40 years. And he reaches into his pocket, takes out the cigarettes, throws them to the stage floor, stomps on them with his feet, and declares to everyone, "I'm now a non-smoker because of this experience."
Hmm.
Pretty powerful. 6 weeks later, I contacted him back and said, "Hey, everything good? You need a follow-up session?" "No, I'm good. I'm done. Over." So the reason I tell you the story is, again, because some people, one session, programming's done, you're on your way. Other issues, let's say like weight. Now that's not going to go away. You want to lose 100 pounds, you come to see me one time, and all of a sudden you lost 100 pounds. That's not going to happen. So that's a progression. That's a series of sessions where we have to program the mind to redirect itself because it took you all this time to put the weight on. And so it's going to take a little time to get it off. Just like most behavior, most people are coming in because it's a negative behavior. It's not something they created like 3 weeks ago or a month ago. This has been something that has been plaguing them for a very, very long time. So as in any therapy, that takes time. Time is always the battle, where if you created it for 12 years, then it's going to take X amount of sessions to get rid of it. So,
What would be
yeah.
the average? Let's say somebody has had that a bad habit for 12 years. What is an
Yeah,
average?
my record is I'm shooting 98%. That's why I'm global and everyone seeks me out because of the work that I do. And I'm about roughly six to 12 sessions, really depends, but six is really the pocket for me.
That's pretty damn good, man. That's pretty damn good. Uh,
Yeah.
you said that you have over 100 sorry, 1 million clients?
No, I've hypnotized over 1 million people because I get that luxury, right? Because I do lectures, comedy stage hypnosis shows, I do stuff like this. So in my lifespan, it's probably more than 1 million now because I've been doing this a long time. So yeah, about 1 million people. Client wise, we've never really kept track, but it's probably up there. It's in the numbers because I also offer programming systems where they can purchase off the website and they can get hypnotized. We sell a lot of those products as well. So,
And you feel like most of your clients, this is a long-term effect, right? Like how often in 5 or 10 years do they come back and say, "Hey, Kevin, I need another session here. Get me back on
well,
track."
if they're coming back in 5 or 10 years, then they're coming back with a different issue.
Hmm.
It's not the same issue. Because again, like the computer, once you tell the computer or take out the virus in the computer, it's done. It's over. It doesn't come back. Now, there are temptations like with smoking, weight, food, right? There are temptations, but you're blocked from that. And so you have that choice at that point if you're going to do it or not. And then some people will, and that's when they get nervous or they panic or they go into anxiety. They call me up and they go, I was at a party and I didn't even realize it, but I haven't smoked in 20 years. And then somehow I just took a drag off of a cigarette. Am I a smoker now? Do I need a session? I tell them no.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're done. You're good. It's okay to do what you did, but don't beat yourself up over it. You're not going to be that smoker again. It doesn't transition because you opened up the portal and all of a sudden now you're that smoker again. No, no, no. It's very rare. Could it happen? Sure, it could happen. But in my experience, no,
What was
never
schooling
happened.
like? How long was schooling to be a
For
hypnotist?
me, it was a 2 year program. I also went on to become an instructor at that particular school before my career started taking off and everything started happening for me. And so I was pretty involved for a very long time. I was involved with that program for 6 years, I believe, after graduation. Yeah, I became very instrumental in the entire process and the programming and the teaching because I felt that passionate about it. And because, again, I was coming from the whole different, total other side of what a lot of people are, again, skeptical, cynical, don't understand it, not educated about it, and could care less about it because all they see is what they see is in the movies or TV or in the books or in a comedy stage hypnosis show. Because again, I'm the guy who's out there doing the same things, but the way I do them gives you an educational platform because I open it up telling them, look, we're gonna have a good time today, but if you really pay attention to what's happening here, and if you do participate, you're going to benefit tremendously because there's a lot to learn about what that process is going to be and how you can apply that to yourself. So
What
that's how I set the parameters.
what were you initially going to school for?
I was I wanted to be a news anchor.
Hmm.
I wanted to be a sports guy. And that's what I came out here with. I followed a career from the East Coast. I always wanted to live in California. So but I ended up getting a job at like the #2 radio station. Back in the day, it was very, very different. Now you guys, you got these podcasts and all, it's just out of control. But it wasn't like that back in the day for guys like me. We had to pay our dues and pay them hard.
Mm-hmm.
And there was what is called a revolving door radio, but the stepping stone to get into television at that time was you had to go through radio, then you move through the channels and get to the where you final are going to go. So I ended up getting a job in radio here in California. So I immediately moved out here, and then the ratings were down. And when the ratings books came out, you either kept your job for another 6 months or you were on the chopping block. And so and you never know why the management made those decisions, but they did. And I was in that group of we're cleaning out and we're bringing in a whole new staff. And so that every time I'm in between anything in life, especially jobs, I always go back to school because I have that creative learning mind where I just want to feed it and I just want to understand and learn things. And so that's how this happened for me.
What radio station?
Yeah. It was a station in the valley called I don't think it exists anymore. It's called KGIL.
And it was sports or just
No,
sports
this was a news station.
news
Yeah,
station
this was
stuff?
so it had sports, it has weather. Was mainly catered towards news. Yeah,
Okay.
totally different format than things are today.
So, so what was the most odd thing you ever hypnotized somebody for?
I get that question periodically, and I always get like deer in headlights because I never see anything when people contact me as difficult. I don't judge it. I'm not here to judge. I'm here to understand what it is you're saying to me and why you need to change that. And that's what my role is. That's what my job is. So I'm not really here to analyze that. And so I don't have an answer because to me, um, when I first started doing this and I did it to myself, well, I didn't do it to I did do it to myself, but it was during classes. For me, I was a nail biter and I thought that was bizarre, right? And so when I stopped the applications of hypnosis, I thought, okay, that's really strange stuff. People don't bite their nails. And so now, of course, I've seen a lot of different things, a lot of different changes in life with people. So I don't really have a clear answer for that because, again, I don't see things that way. That's not how I perceive the issues that come to me. I see it as, okay, here's the issue. This is what we're gonna do to get that to be 100% in your favor instead of counteracting your behavior where you don't get to achieve your maximum potential. So, yeah, sorry I don't have an answer. I hope that answers the question.
No, that's fair. That's fair. I
Yeah,
respect that. I like that because yeah,
yeah.
I don't think that's judge worthy. You know, everybody's got issues, and we're all a little bit different, and that wouldn't be right of you to be judgmental on somebody who has an issue. You know, and then
Yeah, and you can't. As a therapist, the moment you are, you're a failure because you're seeing things in a certain way, and then you're trying to guide people. It becomes very closed-minded. And again, you're never successful in that way in any career if you're just got those blinders on and want to see the world the way the world is wanting you to see it. And so, yeah, again, there's all kinds of conditions. There's all kinds of issues that people have, just like anything else. And even if you just want to focus on medical issues that you never even heard about or think is so crazy, just Google the craziest, most bizarre medical issues, and you'll be stunned. And you go, well, I didn't know that because I never see it on TV. I don't see it portrayed in the movies or TV. And so I didn't even realize that was a condition. I didn't even realize that was issues that people have, you know? The old joke with therapists is that don't ever open up the DSM. That's a manual that basically describes all of the psychological issues that human behavior has. If you open that up, you start to realize you have probably 90% of what's in the book. And so you don't want to know, because then you start to have anxiety over, oh my gosh, I have this, I have that, I have that. So again, it's, I really believe that yeah, on this planet, God gives us a need to know, because we're doing the work for Him, and I'm just an instrument through that. And so He gives me what I need and the strength to do it for what is being presented to me. And so that's how I perceive the whole process of what I do.
People who believe in God, do they get offended by what you just said?
No, absolutely not. Now there are sectors again, because again, they're not educated enough, and even me, because I came from a very strong Catholic background, which I'm now a Christian, so is my whole family. So we moved away from Catholicism and that structure. And again, there's no good or bad. There's, all religions pretty much promoting the same. It's just what you feel comfortable in, whatever box of religion you want to continue to believe in God with, correct? So for me, I became a Christian, but there's so much evidence scientifically and not only biblically in the Bible that speaks upon hypnosis. And it's so interesting you ask, because I just posted up on my Facebook page, because again, I'm always in discovery and God is always showing me different things. And again, there's a whole story that goes with this too, because at the at the peak and the height of my career, not that it isn't now, but I think, I'm getting older, and so I probably peaked out, but I really haven't. Because again, if you Google me, or just Google best hypnotist in the world, it's still me, because that's where God wants it, right? So he continues to show me different things. So I just posted up on my Facebook page, HollywoodHypnotist.com, where in I believe it was 1954, the Pope basically sanctioned hypnosis, and
Hmm.
basically had said, hey, this is not something that's evil, or all these things that are conjured up, especially by Catholics, where this is something that is healthy. This is something that is natural, and we're not against it. We're for it, but with a qualified hypnotist, not just anyone doing the hypnosis. So I thought that was pretty powerful. But again, if you look throughout the Bible, there's scriptures, there's all kinds of evidence and things that talk about, again, Christ talks about trance-like states in scripture. This is exactly what all of this is. And so, not to go down this rabbit hole, because again, this is a general kind of educating your audience about what hypnosis is. And this is why I do these, because I really feel a strong passion, because I know I was that guy. I came from that kind of cut of cloth. I I get it. I get both sides of what is. And I'm not here to prove anything to anyone. I'm just here to show you what my own journey has been, the changes that I have accomplished through the applications of not only prayer, because that's the hierarchy. There's nothing else. You can't top that one. Okay. Hypnosis is the second, as far as I'm concerned. And yes, I am biased to that, because I've studied all the principles, I've studied all meditation, yoga, everything, all religions. And where I'm at with what I'm speaking about is why I'm passionate about it. Because again, it's just understanding it and utilizing a natural, organic tool that's God given to help us through this journey on this earth. So, yeah.
You see a lot of people, you've treated a lot of people, you have a lot of clients. Do you ever feel like you need some sort of therapy to kind of keep
Oh,
you?
of course.
Yeah. So
Absolutely.
you see you
Absolutely.
see a therapist?
I don't, but I have lots of colleagues I speak with on a daily basis. So it's a form of informal therapy, right?
Yeah.
But I think that anyone always needs a mentor, a therapist, or someone, again, to be a sounding board and to continue to grow. Because look, life is an evolution. We continue to grow as long as we're here. And so You're always going to have questions when you reach certain points in life, and you're going to want to turn to someone and go, "Hey, am I crazy?" Or you want to have that power where somebody understands that and be able to help guide you as well. So again, there's never a point where you reach and you're done. As long as you're here and alive, you're growing. So you definitely need to surround yourself with people like-minded, exactly what Christ promotes and what biblical principles are. Surround yourself with like-minded people and feed off of them. Iron sharpens iron, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So
Mhm.
absolutely, positively, you can never walk solo on this earth. It's not possible. And if
Yeah.
you try, well, we all know what happens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you give us some tips as to how to hypnotize yourself? You talked about that a couple times.
Sure. So the way to do it is there's a formal way to do it. But again, we're doing it all day long, so why not understand the formal way of doing it? It's pretty lengthy because it is a process. Now I basically can hypnotize myself within 5 minutes because again, it's like going to the gym. It's like building muscle. The more you do it, the better you get at it. So now I just say a basic word and I go into my self-hypnotic state and I'm able to focus and do whatever it is I need to do to tap into that personal power to get what I need. But to basically break it down, you can also go to the website. There's information on there on how to do it and what you need to do. But it's a basic, like a 20-minute thing that you have to do to condition yourself. Once you get to that point, you can get as good as me, where you refine it to be a word, and boom, you're in that hypnotic state where So it's not an easy process to just describe, but good question.
Um, what kind of things do the celebrities come to you to fix?
Same thing as anyone else. Yes, they have the same issues. They're human beings. And so a lot of it, though, I will say in the industry is addiction. Um, it's pretty heavy, because there's a lot of pressure. And so people turn to, smoking, not just cigarettes, but it goes beyond that. There's prescription abuse, there's alcoholism. So a lot of it is focused on that. But it's pretty much what everyone else is battling with in our world, especially now with the stress and anxiety and all the stuff that's going on, especially after the pandemic. People are stressed out. There's a lot of anxiety, and now there's a big push for a lot of people proclaiming. I mean, Miss America just gave up her crown because of mental health. She feels she's not capable of maintaining her title, so she stepped down. So there's a lot of that mental health with the newer generation of they feel they're not connected. They don't feel that they're accepted. There's so many things that come with it. And this is a great interview too because we're in the month of mental health. So this is perfect. But so with the industry, it's mostly all of that because there's a lot of pressure and there's a lot of different things that really happen. But it's no different than the common regular person like you or me who is calling me. It's the same. It's the same issues. They're people, and they have people issues. There is again issues that are above and beyond because it comes with the job description and the pressures of who they are. So it is slightly different, but not tremendously different, where it's like, oh, you're a whole different person. We're all people. We all have the same issues. Yeah.
Which celebrities have you treated?
I can't tell you that, but I can tell you
That's right.
because
That'd be fun.
again, my work is all therapists' work is confidential,
Sure.
right? But if you do go to the website or you go to my YouTube channel, see, I get the benefit because I've been in so many TV shows and talk shows and everything. You can see a lot of the celebrities that I've worked with or that I've been able to talk about because they were there. So, yeah, if you're curious, go check it out. There's a lot of them there. So, yeah.
What's the website, Kevin?
My website is hypnotist.com.
Hypnotist.com.
Yeah.
Holy smokes. How the hell did you get that?
Yeah, that's my retirement account, Mike. That's I always tell people. That's like a McDonald's.com, right? So,
When did you
because
buy that? Before the internet?
So again, I'm a little bit older than you, Mike, and again had the foresight back in those days to understand what was coming. Because again, like I told you, my mind works differently than a lot of people. I'm always interested in learning, understanding, seeing what's going to come 5, 10 years down the road. And so when all of this was coming about, I kind of saw the writing on the wall, and I said to myself, I probably need to start buying, and I just don't own that one. I own a lot of other real estate in that, internet domain world where it's very lucrative. And it's like trading Bitcoin, right? But no, I own hypnotist.com, and I'm going to spell that. Why? Because even when I type it in, when I need to go there to check what's going on with the webmaster and if he's doing his job or whatever, I end up typing the wrong thing sometimes. Now, do I own the wrong thing? Yes, because it'll redirect you. But the formal way of doing it, because a lot of people think there's an I in hypnotist, right? No, it's Hyp as in Paul, Notist.com. So hypnotist.com. I recommend everyone to go there. There's a lot of great information on there. It is an intense website, and it's designed very, very specifically that way because a lot of people have a lot of questions, especially after interviews like this, and they really want to try and understand a little bit more. So I really opened that whole site up, not only about me and the work that I do, but you can learn and educate yourself on a lot of the applications of how to do hypnosis, what this really is about. There's a Q&A on there with the most common questions and a lot of great information. And any new information that I get, I put it on the website. So it becomes a huge resource site. And it's just not about me, it's about what and why hypnosis does what it does.
Any chances that sessions get there can be some backfire, or you don't really know where things could go?
Uh, no, no. So if I can understand that a little bit, and this will go with the question about 40 minutes ago, right? What do we start out with? The pushback, what was it called?
Huh?
What was that?
Stigma? The stigma?
Stigma.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the stigma. Will I get stuck in hypnosis?
Mm.
If I go into hypnosis, will I end up going down another rabbit hole and create another issue because of it? So that's kind of like the same question you're asking, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. So no, the answer is no. Because again, you have to remember this. Once you're in the hypnotic state, you're in full control. It's not the hypnotist. I know it appears to be, but you're really trusting, just like any other therapist, you're trusting the hypnotist and the environment, and you're allowing yourself to go on the journey of where you need to go. And the more you do it, the better you get at it, and the better you feel with the hypnotist or the hypnotherapist. And so you start to explore all of those deep, dark secrets that you don't tell anyone, but you
Mm.
self-talk to yourself every day, and how it continues to block you. And once you get past that and you find somebody you can work with and who can really guide you to where you need to go, this is when now things really open up and you explode, because now you've reached your maximum potential and you can go beyond. And you don't even know what that is until you get to that point. And even I don't know, but I've watched amazing growth with people from addiction and just completely checked out and self-sabotage to unbelievable billionaires, millionaires, if that's how you want to set the precedence of gauging levels of success in the world. I don't personally, but this is how the world does this. That's why I'm speaking in those terms, where we have, oh, if you become a billionaire and you have a successful family and money and everything, oh, then you've reached the pinnacle of life. That's not true,
Mm.
but okay. But okay, can we help get you there to remove the blocks? Absolutely. This is what I do a lot, especially with the sports figures. Okay, sports figures, they have it's all mental game. I don't care what game it is. It's all mental. So they have these blocks when they start to get into a professional game that prohibit them from, again, excelling with their talents of what they were hired to do for that particular team, right? And here's another great thing. Mike Tyson, who I don't know if everybody's aware of, but he's got a big fight coming up, Netflix. And Mike, I've always known this, but he's just released it because I don't think he's ever really spoken about it in any interviews. But just 2 days or 3 days ago, he had an interview with somebody just like you, by the way. And he said basically, look, I've been doing, I've been going to a hypnotist and I've been doing hypnosis since I was 14.
I heard that. I heard that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think the other stigma is that people think you're just going to walk around like a mummy, like
Yeah.
you're,
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
and
That's
you're,
what you see on TV.
yeah,
Walking around blanked out. The recent movies that just came out, they were all zombied out.
yeah,
You're a zombie. Um, yeah. Because again, even when you see a comedy stage hypnosis show, people look like they're zombied out, right? But they're not. They're just relaxed. They're just in that state, that alpha state where it's the ultimate high, where you just have no inhibition. You just really don't care. You're just really in the zone. And that's where everybody wants to be. So why
absolutely.
not do it naturally instead of, trying to supplement it with drugs and alcohol and all this stuff that's out there? And so, yeah, yeah, you get it. Yeah.
Absolutely. Kevin, what did you want to be as a kid?
I did. I wanted to be a sportscaster since I was a boy.
Oh,
That
as
was the whole,
that was
that,
your goal. Interesting.
that was the whole thing. I always wanted to be in on television doing the sports or just being an anchor. That was my whole thing. Yeah, ever since I was a boy.
You and I have a
Yeah.
lot in common, man. I remember driving with friends or my parents, and I listened to sports radio, and I was a kid, and I'd be like, "Man, this is the dream job. You get to talk sports all day, and I get paid
Yeah.
to do it. This is
Yeah.
a dream
Yeah.
gig." Yeah.
Yep. And that's and again, look at you. You've got your own podcast now. You're doing your thing, and I don't know what you do outside of this, but you're doing it, and you're fulfilling your personal dreams. And again, it's successful. It doesn't matter what you're going to try and compare yourself to. Whoever's doing whatever they're doing, you're still doing what you're doing. And look, you contacted me. You got a big leaguer coming in. You're doing your thing, man, and you're doing it the way you want to do it, and you're fulfilling that ultimate destiny of what you want to do. And it can turn into your I don't know, your full-time job and your main supplementary income. I don't know, but you're still doing what you're doing. And that's why I tell people you have to put that first foot forward to be able to get where you want to go. Remove the fear, remove the phobias, remove that little voice inside your head that's stopping you. And then you not only have that pressure, but you have the world who's always negative. And sometimes even our own internal families, without them even knowing it, are not promoting or helping you to continue to do what you feel that you're being guided to do in life and what your role and purpose is on this earth, right? And so you're doing it, man. And
Yep.
so that's what I encourage everyone to continue to do. Doesn't matter what level. Stop comparing yourself, stop judging, just do what you feel is in your heart and let the mind take over that connection, the mind body connection. You're able to succeed for where you want to be. And the rest is on God because that's all God's plan
Yep.
in the end of the day.
Yeah, I love it. Got some weird questions from the IG friends. You wanna check some of these out?
Who's the IG?
The
Instagram?
Instagram, yeah. I put a
Okay.
little thing yesterday, and I'm like, "Hey, you guys got questions for a hypnotist?" And so
Right on.
yeah,
Shoot it
the,
out.
the
Bring
first
it.
the first one was, have you ever taken advantage of others by hypnosis, and in what way?
Not possible.
Yeah.
Not possible. Again, that's that stigma that comes with hypnosis, where people think that once somebody's hypnotized. See, here's the thing. Once you're hypnotized, you're more in control than you are now in a conscious state of mind. So, for example, my office is in Beverly Hills and it's on the second floor. And so there was construction going on 4 blocks away. So if you were to stand there in front of my office, you wouldn't know there's construction. It's 4 blocks away. When you go into a hypnotic state, like I said, all of your senses become increased and amplified by 10 times. So people who go into hypnosis start hearing voices and conversations that are happening, not in the building, not in my office, but 4 blocks away with the construction workers. Why? Because you're more in control in a hypnotic state than you are in a natural, conscious state of mind. So the hypnotist cannot make you do something or take advantage of you like you see. There's news stories there's it's always these foreign countries where a hypnotist took advantage of somebody. It's all nonsense. All of it is nonsense. If I was to try and program you, or even myself, if I was to try and walk into my local bank right now and go in there and hypnotize all of the tellers to take the money, put it in the back trunk of my car, and I can go home and I have all the money I need. Not going to happen.
Right.
So again, that's one of those stigmas, but that's a great question because again, this is how we're programmed to think through TV and the movies about what hypnosis is and what that hypnotist, male or female, because there's lots of female hypnotists out there too, and they're very good about what it is that, oh, once I do it, are you going to have complete, am I going to divulge secrets? Am I going to tell you something I wouldn't normally tell you? That's another one.
Mhm.
Yeah. So good question.
We
What else
talked
you got?
about it a little bit. Anxiety. That this person actually they want to know if it's really possible, because I think they've got some serious anxiety issues. You can actually
Sure.
help somebody with anxiety.
Absolutely. That's the biggest thing lately for the last 3, 4 years now, because again, the pandemic really put everybody into that over processing, anxiety, stressful mode. And it's still going on. And there's still a lot of repercussion from that time as well, where people haven't healed. And so absolutely positively, this is one of the most powerful tools to alleviate or eliminate anxiety and stress in your life, where you are controlling it and you're the master over it and it's not controlling you.
An interesting one. Somebody asked if it could be a placebo.
Now we test. That's an excellent question, by the way, because yes, let me try to explain that as best as we can. Okay, because I was in that frame of mind when I was a student studying this, right? Placebo. So how I pushed the envelope back in the day when I was again young student studying, where I felt let's try to commit a murder under hypnosis. So we took the most somnambulistic person who would instantly go into hypnosis and look like everything you see on TV and the movies or in a comedy stage hypnosis show. This person at the snap of a finger would go into hypnosis, and you're thinking, "Wow, I can do anything with this person." So we pushed the envelope with this particular person, me and a couple other students, because this is how we thought back in those days, where we programmed them and we worked with them for like 25, 30 minutes, deeply giving every suggestion possible, deeply hypnotizing all this stuff. And basically, the suggestion was you're going to get up out of this chair, you're going to walk exactly 10 steps forward and take this paper knife and basically stab the chair approximately 30 times. And in your mind, you're going to think that's the worst person in your life where you just want to eliminate them. Something to all of that effect, right? So we do all this work, we get them in, we're excited, we're thinking, oh, this all is going to work with this placebo. So we go, wide awake, go. Guy wakes up and he goes, I'm not going to do any of that. What do you mean? He goes, I had a great little nap, by the way, and I feel really good, but I'm not a killer. I'm not a person who's going to stab anybody. And even the placebo of thinking about that, because I did think about people that I dislike, but not to the point where I would want to, do something or harm to them. So there is some placebo, just like in a medical field, there is some placebo. Can it be used? Yes and no. It's pretty complex to really talk about in a program like this. It's something you really have to look into, but there's a yes and no to that
And I don't think it's
for
necessarily
transparency.
bad. I don't think it's bad. I
No,
think,
no,
uh,
not at all.
yeah, I think
Not at all.
if
Yeah,
you're the mind is very powerful, as you know, and if
yeah,
a placebo effect can help the mind steer you the right way in your life, Hey,
Right.
he'll take it all.
Right.
Take it all
And
day.
in psychology, if you take a basic psychology class, that's the first thing you're going to learn about is placebo. And they talk about the little pill and how they gave one study group the pill and the other study group not the pill. And they came up with the numbers. And is it effective? Yes, absolutely. Because again, why is it effective? Because what you tell your mind to do, it's going to do. So if I tell you that this little white pill, and if you take this little white pill every single day, you're going to lose weight. There's nothing in the pill. It's a sugar pill.
Mm.
But that placebo will work because you allowed your mind to believe that that's what's going to work. Absolutely positively.
Right. Quick.
So again,
Yeah.
good timely questions, by the way, because I was just watching an interview with Ricky Lake, who basically, we're talking about placebo. She struggled with her weight, just like Oprah. Up and down, tried everything possible. She went through the whole gamma of everything. Nothing ever worked. So she goes to her doctor, and the doctor says, "Look, if you want to lose weight, you have to take this particular drug. It's not Ozempic or anything, the new stuff. This is, back in the day." So she goes, "I don't want to take drugs. I want to do this the natural way." And so here we are with a perfect example of mind over matter, where she basically, the doctor said, "You're never going to lose the weight." Now that's a negative suggestion, by the way, especially from an authority figure, which is not good. But being who she was and the person that she is, she basically said, I'm gonna overpower this. Now she basically laughed it off as I like challenges, and she gave that kind of an explanation. But the personality and the character of the individual said basically, no, I can do this. No doctor's going to tell me what I can and can't do. So here's your placebo, where she took it and said, I'm going to do this now. And she did. And she was able to lose it. And she's very successful. And that was what the whole interview was really about, because that's the newest push right now with weight loss, Ozempic, and the drugs. Oprah promoting stuff on a national television program about drugs and all this craziness. And so you can do all of that with your mind. Because the thing is, once you get off the drug, and it's the same thing. We didn't get too deep into it with the smoking either, but same thing with the smoking. As soon as you get off the patch, the pill, whatever, guess what's going to happen? You're going back to it. Why? Because you haven't programmed the most powerful part, the programming system. The 88%, your computer system is still knows the information. Just because you masked it with a band-aid doesn't mean it's gone. It's just a temporary fix. You have to program the mind. So back to Ricky Lake, she basically said, this is what I'm going to do. She made up her mind and set forth to do what she had to do. And that's it. That's what it all comes down to with everything. It's to power the mind and what choices and what you're going to do with that.
Yeah.
But you need the tools, and hypnosis is that tool.
Quick advice for somebody who doesn't like to fly and has claustrophobia.
Oh, wow, that's the easy stuff. They need to call me. Call me. I get that all the time.
Yeah.
Fear of flying, absolutely. Fear of small spaces is the same thing. That's why they don't fly, because they don't want to get inside the tube, and the tube is, pressured air and all that. Call me, call my office. We'll get you on track of where you need to be. Because again, you probably have to travel for your business, and it's prohibiting you from being successful. So give us a call. That's easy stuff in hypnosis. A lot of the stuff that we've been talking about is easy. I guess easy for me because I've been working on it with it for many, many years, but I'm not known for those things. In the beginning, I, I guess I was, and that's how the word got out in the industry, because there was a lot of smokers, a lot of addiction, all that. But for me, do I still do those? Yeah, that's the easy stuff now for me. But I really got known for pain management, in a lot of different areas of in dentistry with TMJ, and so that's where things really started to explode, where people go, "Oh, you got to go see this guy." So the fear of flying and all that, call my office. We'll get you set up.
Best way to get in contact with you through the website.
Hypnotist.com.
Okay.
Go to the website. Right there's a contact form. There's also we have 24/7 chat box where you can chat with somebody, set up an appointment. There's a phone number. There's all different ways to get a hold of me. Go to the social media. I'm on all the platforms. There's a lot of different ways to get a hold of me, and I will contact you. It's me personally. You're not going to get my assistant or something like that. I'm always interested in the one-on-one and helping people to get where they need to go. Because again, that was me. I was that guy. And so I don't want to get to a point where, oh, I just passed you off to somebody else and all that. No, I still personalize people who want to come to me. And I'm also affordable because a lot of people go, well, you're that guy, so I can't afford you. Call my office. We work with everyone who wants to work with themselves because I'm going to teach you and show you how to do that.
What would be
Yeah,
a
that's my
Evan?
passion.
What is your going rate?
For a single session, it's around 275, $300.
That's good.
Absolutely fair.
That's extremely fair to change your
This
life
is
and something that's hindering you from living. Are you kidding me?
Absolutely. There's therapists out there charging more than me. And believe me, I get flack for it every day from my management team because I've become the guy nation globally. And they go, you should be doing, $5,000, $10,000 sessions and all this nonsense. And I go, that's moving away from the
Mhm.
core of what I started doing and why I'm doing this. And so as long as I'm going to be able to continue to do it, I'm going to do it that way because it's not about that. It's about helping people to help themselves and teaching people to do that because that was me. And look, I'm still that guy. We just talked about this. Life is an evolution and we continue to grow. And so we need constant tools to keep up with the demand of what the changes are all of the time. And so, yeah.
If they're out of the country or state, you just go via Zoom. They can't get to Beverly.
Yeah. Zoom, a lot of the work that I do is right over the phone.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah, and I was one of the pioneering guys back in the day, and I got a lot of flack for this from my colleagues, a lot of pushback from the industry because I was doing things unorthodox. So when the pandemic hit and it came out now the term of telemedicine, I was I was doing telemedicine long before it
Mhm.
was even called telemedicine because the demand of my work, again, the word got out. People want, of course, when you're successful, people want a taste of that because they want to change their lives too. So I had to devise a way where I was maximizing my day and my time. So I devised telemedicine long before it was even a thing. Yeah.
You have any
So
upcoming shows?
I do, but they're all private. Nothing, nothing public. There is some public East Coast shows. I can't remember where they are right now, but they're in July. But all the announcements and everything for those are always on the website. So again, go to the website, hypnotist.com. Uh, there's an email. You can get emails from me and all this other kind of thing and keep up to date as to what's going on. Yeah,
I thought we had an amazing conversation. I hope you did too. I think
absolutely.
yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. Did I miss
Thanks
anything?
for the opportunity, Mike. I mean, again, you get some great listeners too. Those are great questions. There's no wrong questions. Just again, how we're thinking. And again, you should be fearful to ask the question because I'm going to have an answer for you. You might not like the answer, but I'm going to give you the answer.
Anything I missed throughout the conversation?
No, I think this entire interview was very well rounded. Um, Yeah, I mean, there's so much more to get into.
Right.
I mean, I could have shown you a couple of different things, and maybe on the next interview, I'll show you some different things and what things you can do. And I did talk to you about how you're a hypnotist as well, and we could talk about how everyone is really a hypnotist as well. And there's a lot of different avenues we can go down, but we covered mostly, again, what the purpose of why I do these interviews is to get the general foundation of what hypnosis is, what it isn't, and let people make a decision for themselves. And if they're ready to move forward, they can contact me. They can go to the local library. They can go on the internet and learn more. So yeah, it just opens up that door to let everyone know that there is a tool out there. This is that natural organic tool to help you to help yourself to overcome anything in your life that's blocking you from not achieving your maximum potential in the lifestyle you want to lead.
So you're in for a part two in a couple months? Deal?
Love it.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
All right. Let's do it.
Absolutely.
All right, can you leave the people with some lasting advice? You did throughout the conversation, but something to just leave the people with, something positive.
Yeah. Um, Move past your fears and your concerns, that little voice inside your head that you're listening to, the one that when you wake up in the morning, you look in the mirror and it programs you automatically, and you're not even realizing. When you look in that mirror and you go, you know what, I'm not having a good hair day. That's a negative. Watch your negatives every single day. Remove the words I can't from your life and replace it with I will. And then learn the tools to continuously stay in the I will, and you'll succeed. It's like going to the gym. You have to do the mental gymnastics every single day, just like we go to the gym every single day to condition our body to be a certain way, to stay healthy, looking good. Well, we don't have enough tools out there, or people don't think we have enough tools out there for conditioning our mind. And we allow the environment to continuously condition that. Why not learn the tools? Hypnosis is that tool. And it's not, again, mystical, all of this nonsense that people conjure up. It's a natural, organic thing you're already doing, just like I explained to you. When you wake up in the morning, you look in the mirror, you're like, oh, I don't feel good. Oh, I'm having a bad hair day. You're already programming yourself. You're not only programming yourself, but then when you walk out of your own home and you get in your car and you drive to your destination, now you're still getting beat up by the world on a subconscious level, and sometimes on a direct level, because you get to work, your boss, calls you in the office and it's nothing but good, bad. So again, it's like constant bombardment of negative energy. Why not control that?
Awesome. God bless you, brother.
God bless you, my friend, and everyone listening. And again, don't be afraid to contact me. It may take me a couple of days or weeks to get back to you, but I will get back to you personally. And I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do for you, Mike. This is what I'm going to do for you and your listening audience. Anyone listening to this program, now this is airing live now, or what are you doing with it, Mike?
It'll come out about a week.
Okay. So when this program comes out in a week, and whatever that day is, I'm going to know because you're going to send me the link and I'm going to know when that's going to happen. 1 week from that date, only 1 week, I'm going to give away a $150 programming system, self-hypnosis programming system that all you have to do is email me from the website hypnotist.com, and I will email you an MP3 programming system, $150 value on how to do self-hypnosis so you can improve your life because of this programming, because of this show. And all you have to do is leave in the subject line and in the body of the email. You like the show, you didn't like the show, I didn't like the way Kevin sounded, I think Mike sounds nasally, whatever it is you want to say.
Oh,
That's
man, I thought my allergies were back to normal.
whatever it is you want to say doesn't matter to us, because Mike and I are professionals and we take the good with the bad. And we know what we're doing, and we're going to continue on our paths of helping people to help themselves. That's why Mike is doing this program and why he takes his time to do what he's doing. So whatever it is you want to say in that email body, but just let me know that you listen to this program, because I do a lot of interviews a week. So it has to be very specific to this, because I don't do this giveaway for everybody. So make sure you tell me the show, the time you listened, and then in the body, whether you liked it, you didn't like it, what we need to do to improve for our second round, because we were boring and we need to lighten it up. I don't know. Whatever you feel as a listening audience, we're always open to suggestions to help improve our lives as well, right, Mike?
I
And
think
so
you
that's
just
all
turned
you
my
need to do.
co-host, man. Yeah. This is the Mike and
Now,
Kevin show now.
there you go, brother. So that's all you need to do, and you get a free programming system.
That's
That's
badass,
it.
man. That is badass. I appreciate that. There's going to be a lot of people
Absolutely.
that listen to this and they will email you because we can all use a little bit of help in our lives. We are not perfect.
Absolutely.
We're always learning. We're never satisfied. We keep going, we keep pushing. And this is the whole thing about this little thing that we've built here. My little group of people that are following the podcast is just, man, every day just trying to get a little bit better every day. Surround yourself with great people. And this is just another tool another tool for you to just get better and be a better person. And I love that, man.
Amen, brother.
Awesome.
Amen.
That's awesome.
Amen. Amen.
Awesome. Kevin, my man, thank you so much. We will
Absolutely.
be in touch. I will let you know when this comes out. And then I've got a friend in you, I think, man. I think we hit it off, man. And we're like
Absolutely.
from each other. I would love to meet you one day too. So I appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you, man.
Touch,
Thank
Kevin.
you. God bless everybody.
God bless you, brother. Have a nice weekend. We'll be in touch. All right.
Amen.
Thanks, man. Kevin, you still there?
I'm here.
Dude, thanks so much, man. That was amazing.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. You're doing a good thing, Mike, and but when I checked out your stuff, again, I don't do all of these.
Yeah.
I only do the ones that I think are very specific. And, I think that I'm looking for the heart of the individual or doing what they're doing. And it's exactly what I said on air. I think you're doing a good thing. You're trying to help people help themselves while living your dream of doing what exactly what we talked about earlier.
Yeah.
And I think with that combination, it's a powerful, powerful thing. So, you're going to continue to do what you do. And again, you seem to be spiritually based as I am.
Yep.
So what I didn't tell you, and we'll talk about it next time. I almost went there, but somehow I got sidetracked. We went with something else. But at what I truly believe to be like the pinnacle of what was happening in my career at the time, now it's still way beyond what I thought even back then, right? Because again, if you Google best hypnotist in the world, I'm the guy. And every time I have people doing it over in Japan, Italy, I go, do me a favor. Can you just Google best hypnotist in the world? Just tell me what comes up. I'm the guy, right?
Love
And
it.
it's not like we push that. We don't pay
Yeah.
for that.
Yeah.
This is what God's will is, right? And I'm going to tell you why. Because what I believed many years ago, I reached that plateau and I thought, I'm done. And I thought I had a calling and I still do, but God's doing it in a different way. I had a calling to become a pastor. So I went to seminary. I gave all this up. I shut everything down and I walked away from it. And I went into seminary because I truly believe God was directing me to be a pastor of my own church. So I went through the entire seminary. Everything doors were opening left and right. I was on my way. I was going to become a pastor, right? And then right towards the end, all the doors started closing and all these doors of this career started opening up again. And I'm like, no. So like, are you a Christian, Mike, or no?
I am.
No.
I am.
Okay. So like Jonah, I'm saying to God, no, I'm not. No. This is what I want to do. I want to be a pastor. I'm done with that old career. I'm done with all of that stuff. I'm done. No. So resisting. The more I resisted, the more he opened up the doors to do what I'm doing still today, which is the hypnotherapy and the hypnotist. So I go, you've got to be kidding me. He shut all the doors down on that. And he said, your ministry, Kevin, because you are able to touch the entire world. I've made it accessible for you to work through you, for me, through what you're doing. This is what I want you to be doing, not pastoring the church. Your impact is much more powerful because of the people that you connect with on a global level is where I want you, not in some local church where there's a small body.
Sure.
It's bigger than that. So that's where things are at right now. Am I still reluctant and resistant? Yeah, I am. Because again, in my head, I just want to be the pastor at a local church.
Yeah.
He says, this is your ministry, Kevin. Call
Yeah.
it hypnosis, all that stuff that you're challenged with every single day. Don't worry about all that.
Yeah.
Trust in me.
Yeah. I've got a nice little Christian following too. So that little group that you'd be a part of in that church if you were a minister,
Yeah.
maybe you're going to get more than that in this show like this, right? So
That's what I'm saying.
yeah.
I mean, I don't know what his plan is, but it is what it is right now.
Yeah.
And I've really settled with it over time. But that doesn't mean I'm still not Jonah. And I still say from time to time, because now he has me traveling. Again, I'm doing a lot of stuff on the East Coast. I'm doing a lot of different things overseas and all this. I'm like, Lord, listen, I'm older now. I don't want to do that anymore. My body is tired. I don't want to go through the nonsense of getting on a plane and a boat and all these things to get to a destination to talk to 3,000, 4,000 people. I don't want to do any of that. He goes, I don't think so.
Hey man,
So
you're doing God's work. You are
absolutely.
because
Wait, where are you from, Mike? You from the East Coast?
no, I'm not. I get that a lot though. I'm born and
Because
raised.
you got that look. You
Yeah.
got that. You look like my younger brother, by the way.
Yeah. All right.
Absolutely.
All right.
Absolutely, positively.
That's awesome.
Yep.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, man. It's really good to connect with you. I think we got a lot of parallels, so I think that's super cool. I love this is the
Oh
reason why
yeah,
the show, man.
definitely.
This
Again,
is
nothing is
why
on accident. It's all
yeah,
for purpose, and sometimes we are revealed what that purpose is, and sometimes we're not. You just have to trust.
yeah,
You know what I mean, brother?
yeah, man.
And so this is not an accident, and I truly believe there's purpose behind it, and God's going to reveal it.